Are you thinking about making the move to Colorado Springs? Look, moving to a new area, no matter where you're going, can be super, super daunting and super difficult. But today, we're going to give you 6 steps to make it really easy. Welcome to Explore Colorado Springs. My name is Sam. This is Francis. Let's jump right into it. Number 1, you got to reach out to us.
Yeah,
you got to
honestly,
reach out to us,
yeah.
right? So you could do that, call, text, email. But we'll kind of get that process started. As far as like all the different searches and talking about different areas and everything. Once it is that you reach out to us, we want to make sure that we're asking you all the right questions, that you're getting an opportunity to ask us questions, any of the questions that have been burning in your mind about the different areas, about what's going on in Colorado Springs, like what your lifestyle might be and where you want to live and all those sorts of things. So we'll delve more into that here as we kind of start going down the road a little bit with this video. But number 1, make sure you reach out to us so we can put you on the calendar, get a call scheduled with you, get all the questions answered. Moving on, number 2, Francis.
Identifying your criteria and location.
So, super important.
I'd say you're doing that right now by watching these YouTube videos. We really try to give you a good idea of what it's like to live, eat, work, sleep, play, breathe, whatever the case may be here in Colorado Springs. We do understand that it is a little challenging to do that just over video.
Yeah.
So, and also your criteria might be a little bit different for, say, your house out in the Midwest than it is going to be here in Colorado Springs. So really trying to narrow down on what that criteria might be. Reaching out to us, we can help kind of narrow it down and kind of whittle away at, things that you really need or things that you just might want that would be kind of a nice little bonus.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. We get clients reaching out, calling us, texting us, emailing us all the time. And the biggest thing with this, everyone is totally different. Everyone has different interests, different hobbies, different preferences. So all those things. So this is where we kind of want to start identifying those things, as well as identifying what areas might match up with those things and where it is that you might want to live within the city, right? So Location is a huge thing. One of the resources that we use a ton for our clients, that our clients love and they use a ton, is niche.com. That's a really, really good resource to be able to use. Another one that I really like using is just the city's website itself. I've been to a lot of different cities' websites. Sometimes I just go down random rabbit holes about different cities, but our website is actually super intuitive, super easy to use. And so you can go on there and look up crime maps, what's going on, what amenities are in different areas, and all those sorts of things. And then also Google Maps, right, is just super helpful with all those things. If you've got a few locations in mind and you want to start kind of narrowing things down, it's super nice to be able to just hop on the Google and see where are those amenities, how far am I away from XYZ, whatever the case may be. That is step number 2, is identifying that criteria for what you want in a home and for what you want in your location.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. Number 3 on the list.
Custom home search. So when you do reach out to us, we have this nifty little thing called the MLS. We also have our own website that we can set up a custom home search for you. So we'll have our initial discovery conversation. We like to bring in our lender into that conversation as well, because she can kind of touch on some of the more financial aspects of that conversation. But we want to set you up on a custom home search so you're getting the most up-to-date new listings in Colorado Springs. Everybody and their mother uses Zillow and Realtor.com, which is a great resource as well. But a lot of those homes on there are it's not even accurate data. I've seen homes on there that sold 2 years ago and they're still listed for sale.
Seriously?
Yeah.
2 years?
Yeah, dude, 2 years.
That is insane.
Yeah. So just be sure to reach out to us. We can set up that custom home search. I mean, we can get really, really specific with the criteria that we are searching for. And we can set you up on a daily search, a weekly search. If you're 6 months to a year out, you probably don't want to get blown up every single day with emails from us. Or you might, that's up to you.
Yeah.
But we'll set you up on a custom home search to make the process just a little bit more seamless for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, another kind of critical step, right? After we've identified your criteria and your location, we want to take that, and the next step we want to take is doing that custom home search. So you can start to see what's available in those locations with your criteria, and so you can kind of start to build an idea of not only what's available, how often is it selling, the frequency, all that stuff, but also what do those things cost in those areas with my criteria, right? So you can kind of start to build that expectation a little bit. Now, we're going to move on to number 4, but first things first. If you're new to this channel, welcome. Thank you for checking this out. We are Explore Colorado Springs. My name's Sam. This is Francis. We're licensed realtors here in the area. As much as we love making this content, we really, really do. We also love helping people find their homes in Colorado Springs. So make sure that you're reaching out to us. You can reach out to us any way you want. Call, text, email. There's even a link for a Calendly down there. If you're not new to the channel, welcome back. Thanks so much for tuning back in. Either way, make sure that you hit the like button. It helps other people out there looking for this information be able to find it a little bit more easy. And make sure you're hitting the subscription button and the notification bell so you get notified every time we upload these videos. We do this twice a week, making sure that you guys are getting all the information and content. But no matter what, if you're moving to Colorado Springs, we got your back. We'd love to be able to help you out. If you got any questions, suggestions on moves, right? Like, there's so many other things that we could put into this video, but we wanted to distill it down a little bit. So if you got any other questions, comments, suggestions, whatever, make sure to drop that in the comment section. And let's move on to number 4.
Number 4, what you really, really need to do before you just go full Monty, jump into Colorado Springs, is you need to schedule a visit. Now, this is absolutely crucial. Our videos are super, super helpful, but you gotta actually get boots on the ground here.
Yeah.
There's so many intricacies about each different part of town. And I've had clients that they started in one location, and by the time we ended up actually buying a house, completely different criteria that we were looking at.
Yeah.
So scheduling a visit is absolutely crucial, and honestly, it's one of my favorite parts about working with you guys. I love, since I'm not from Colorado Springs, I love getting to tour people around the city, talk about different areas. The history here is fantastic. We're basically your little tour guide for several hours during the day. We'll go out to lunch, just kind of talk a little bit more in depth about what it is you're looking for, why you're looking for those things, and we'll try to match you up with, the area, the house, just the part of Colorado Springs that's really going to fit your needs the best.
Yeah, absolutely. Colorado Springs is so interesting, and I talk about this with clients all the time, and we talk about it after they schedule those visits out here, just how true this is. It's a very interesting city in that, we don't build up, we build out here, right? And so urban sprawl is a real thing here. The city's very, very spread out. It's a huge geographic area, and then the county itself is even bigger. It's kind of a massive area, and the thing about that is that Colorado Springs over the years has seen different kind of boom cycles of building and things like that, which results in very different looking areas of town, different ages of homes in different areas of town. So the criteria, it can just be very spread out, and it's super, super convenient if you're able to schedule a visit out here so you can kind of get a feel for those things, as well as a feel for commute times and traffic and the just overall vibes of different areas and neighborhoods and things like that. That can be super, super important. So if you have the time, super crucial to be able to schedule a visit. Don't stress over it if you can't though. We got your back. We got this cool thing these days called FaceTime. It's a wild thing. So if you can't schedule that visit out here, we'll do everything we can to be able to kind of help develop that feel for the neighborhood that you're looking for when you can actually get boots on the ground, right? Yeah.
Schedule a visit.
Schedule a visit.
Highly recommend.
make sure to watch our other videos too. We got a lot of neighborhood tours that we've done, and we're working on more, and we're constantly updating them too. So make sure you watch those, because that can also give you a really great feel. Moving on to number 5. This might be, in my opinion, the most crucial step, right?
Yeah.
And that is secure your financing, right? If you are going to be financing, you want to have that secured, or at least be well into the process, well ahead of time, right? This is a big thing that we talk about with clients a lot, is like, you know, you might be moving here in this time period, call it July or something. Whatever that day is that you're looking to be here, let's back that up 30 more days. That's your contract period. That's kind of your standard contract period, right? Sometimes takes a little bit longer, sometimes can go a little bit faster. But then let's take that back a little bit more. We got to get financing.
Yeah.
And sometimes that takes a little bit to work out too. So I like to give that at least another 30 days, and really, honestly, kind of comfortably, I like to give that 60 days. So like a total, honestly, kind of minimum, if you're able to, 90 days ahead of time.
Yeah. Minimum.
90 days ahead of time of when it is that you want to be here. We should have your financing secured, right? And you can use any lender that you want to, but you want to make sure that you have that secured, because, you know, I've had this happen a couple of times, and it stinks. It's pretty heartbreaking to, you know, find that home that you're like, I love this. This is it. This is what I want in Colorado Springs. I just had this happen to another client of mine. We go, okay, let's go ahead and start figuring out your financing options, right? And there's so many different nuances to that we're not licensed for, right? Only a lender is going to be licensed for those things. And what we found out is that for this particular client, they were moving here without having already secured a job transfer up here, right? So what did that do? Well, that kicks them into only qualifying under a second home. And the rates are completely different, and most of the time much higher on a second home than they would be, you know, on a primary home. And on any sort of just, you know, kind of normal financing sort of, you know, lending situation, right? That's going to be something you're going to run into, is if you don't have a job in the area, they're going to consider that a second home or an investment home before they will consider it a primary, because you don't have that job in the area, right? And that's just one little nuance. And unfortunately for this client, it pushed them into just barely not being able to qualify for that mortgage, right? So it's super, super important to secure your financing, secure it way ahead of time, so that if there are those little things that come up, you have time to deal with that before it is that you're supposed to be here, right?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
There's a million other examples of that, and a million other little nuances. You just want to make sure that you have your financing secured before you head out here. I can't stress that enough.
Yeah, and that's why we like to have our lender on our initial discovery call, because, you know, they're going to be able to talk in greater detail about that. You know, I know we said 90 days, but let's say you've got some debt you've got to take care of, or maybe your credit score is not quite where it's going to be, or you want it to be. That lender is going to be able to help you kind of put a plan in place. So I've had people as far out as a year. They're like, yeah, you know, I want to be out there sometime next year, 2 years even. I'm like, well, you know what? Let's talk with the lender right now, because there might be some things that you're not even aware of that a lender is going to be able to point out, give you the plan so that when that time does come, you are as prepared and in the best situation you can be when you're looking to buy your house.
Absolutely. So we beat that horse enough. Moving on to number 6. Number 6 is we just want to stay in touch with you, right? Want to stay in touch. Keep the lines of communication open, right? It's super, super important if you're moving from another area, especially if you're going to be selling another house in that area, or whatever the case may be. Or if you're trying to secure moving out here, like all those sorts of things, it's important that we stay in touch on those, right? Because, you know, if we have a contingency that might be a part of your deal, we want to stay in touch on that sort of thing. We want to make sure that we're keeping you up to date on the market and up to date on what's going on, you know, with your specific like location that we had talked about, what's going on with lending, all those sorts of things. We just want to stay in touch about everything so that we can make quick pivots if we need to, or we know that we're kind of on the right track, right?
Yeah, we really do keep an open line of communication with all of you guys, and you know, greatly appreciate y'all reaching out. Whenever we reach out, we're calling on our cell phones 90% of the time.
Yeah.
So you have access to us. You know, anytime you have a question, we are more than happy to answer anything you've got. Email, you know, once you get into town, I mean, we'll go out and grab lunch, just talk about things, make sure that we're staying on track for your goals.
Yeah, absolutely. So that right there, that's the 6 steps to making moving easy. All right, that's just a general 10,000 foot view, right? There's so many other pieces to this that we could talk about, and I'm sure we are going to go more into depth on all those things, right? Like we didn't talk about like what's the whole move process like, and what's the search process like, and you know what should my, you know, criteria, you know, kind of look like, and how do we go through all that stuff? There's so much of that. We will be sure to cover that, you know, in some future videos. So make sure you stay tuned. Make sure you hit the notification bell and click the subscribe button so you get all the future notifications every time we upload and you don't miss that one. Make sure you hit the like button. Like I said, helps other people find this information really easy. And if you are thinking about making that move here, anytime in the near future, make sure you reach out to us. Again, we'd love to help you out, love to kind of start walking you through this process, no matter what your timeline is. If it's next week, if it's 3 months from now, 6, 12 months, whatever the case may be, make sure you reach out to us. We'd love to be able to help you out.